Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy book review day. Today's book is another audiobook. It is How Railroads Transformed the World by Philip N. Allitt, PhD. This is part of the Great Courses package bundle books, lectures. I don't know exactly what to call it. But at least on Audible, you can access the Great Courses, and then they have essentially a collection of lectures by experts. So in this case, Dr. Allitt is an expert on railroads and history, I believe, between England and the U.S. And this is a super interesting book. I mean, you have like, what is it? 24 chapters. Each chapter is essentially a little lecture. They're about 50 minutes long. It comes with a really nice PDF that has a lot of the images he references, which is kind of nice. And, it covers all aspects of railroad that I could really think of, kind of like where the idea came from, England kind of advancing this idea, the first American railroads, the moment where the railroads are coming and they meet in the center and they've calculated that, moments where, let's see, there's like talking about laying the railroads and the problems of property. There's kind of how it impacts colonialism. There's some attention paid to the railroads in South Africa and Africa in general, and a little bit to India, but not as much as I would have liked. I would have liked to hear more about the international railroad system, but yeah, it is super interesting. I mean, you get this kind of take on how railroads helped or impacted or affected World War I and World War II. You get how it encouraged tourism. There's a chapter all about railroads and literature, which are used in a couple different ways. I mean, one is literally just to transport characters quickly from one place to another. Others are all the mysteries and murders that take place on trains. And so like books like Sister Carrie and of course Agatha Christie books and lots of things like that. You get art and photography where they talk about how the challenges of photographing a train because its scale is really hard to comprehend. It's so long that if you try to get it head on, it kind of compresses the length of the train. And so tricks in photography and how they manipulate that, how it impacted like impressionism and art. And then the downward slide where basically personal travel, it became too expensive to continue to do passenger trains. And so it really was relegated to freight for a long time, with exceptions in America. And then the advance of high-speed trains is in there. And then kind of this nostalgia for the past as well. I don't know, as someone who spent a lot of time in school, I love learning more things. And that's the thing I kind of miss about not being affiliated with a university anymore is that opportunity to audit a class or just run into somebody who knows a bunch of things about a random topic. And these Great Courses books or audiobooks are an opportunity for that. So I did a bunch of reading last year about subways, and so railroads were kind of a logical extension of that this year. I don't know what will come of it, if it'll end up in any of my books or anything like that. But I enjoy learning more about something that is kind of bygone past or kind of forgotten, or now with like the advent of light rails and high-speed trains and things maybe coming back again. One of my favorite lectures / chapters in the book really talked about the Rails to Trails program. And, it's something I know about, but I hadn't really heard much about in detail. And one of the things I didn't realize is one of the parts of the Rails for Trails is that there's the opportunity to reclaim those as trains, rails for trains, if trains come back again. So, yeah. Anyway, I would definitely recommend How Railroads Transformed the World by Patrick Allitt, PhD. What are you reading?